Casey.
Okay, there.
Ooh, I'm actually really excited about this podcast. I'm gonna do something.
Dude, I'm actually gonna get a picture of Sasquatch.
There you go. I was gonna do something similar.
Wait, Mothman or Sasquatch? Mothman.
Oh shit.
Oh, it's Mothman.
You're going with Mothman?
I'm going with Mothman.
Okay. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with you'll see. This one's close to home.
So I've started doing these crazy backgrounds in my work Zoom meetings.
Yeah.
And it's become a hit, and now everyone at work's doing it.
That's awesome. You just gotta break the ice with the goofiness. And suddenly,
You really do. It's taken 3 years, though. So
yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, I'm so introverted. Like, just with work, I need permission.
Don't you work by yourself?
Yeah. This is. I was actually thinking of like. When I did work in an office, I was like, whenever I've worked in person with people, I'm like the quietest fucking person. Yes, I do work alone.
I was confused. I was like, well, that explains the introvertedness. You are by yourself.
Yeah. It's crazy, though. I get to interview people, and it's very out of my comfort zone, but it's weirdly a lot of fun.
There's a lot of terrible pictures of Mothman. Like, this one isn't that good because my head's blocking out most of it because I have a big-ass head. But
I can tell what it is, though.
Yeah. I mean, it loves land.
The Mothman prophecies?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Dude, that creeped me out. He's holding the chapstick, and the Mothman's like, chapstick? It's just like, oh, shit. How do you know that?
How, Mothman?
How?
Please explain it to me. What the hell?
Yeah, that's the worst part. He offered up no explanations as to how he knew what was in Richard Gere's hand.
Fucking Richard Gere, man. I honestly think it was Richard Gere in a costume. Scooby-Doo.
He was pulling tricks. That whole Mothman legend, while we're on this, perfect segue. There you go.
Yeah.
That one is, that's a really interesting one because they think, there's people in, well, I guess all over the country. He was only around for like a second. And
it was like 2 weeks or something, or like a month.
Yeah, it was such a short amount of time, and like he predicted UFO sightings, and then like suddenly like fucking crashed a bridge and bounced.
Fuck! I was drink driving, guys. I'm toast.
Yeah, he's like flying around. I think he caused a car accident. He
Something like that.
Showed people UFOs, and he went and just stood on a bridge, and the bridge fell, and he's like, "Oh shit!" Flew away.
Like, I really need to lose that last 10 pounds.
Yeah, he bounced after that. He bounced. I heard one theory that there was a huge owl that was just causing a problem.
Big ass owl.
Just a giant owl, not a giant owl, but like you've seen owls before. They're actually pretty big.
Yeah. Like, owls are pretty big, and I thought, like, when I was a kid, there was like one on the roof of my house, and me and my brother were like, "Oh, dude, there's a cat up on the top of the house. How the hell did it get up there?" Like, we didn't think that it was a bird because it looked like a cat, because the horns looked like a cat.
Oh, yeah.
So we climbed the roof. Like, you know my old house, how tall it was?
Yeah.
We got on the top roof, and then we're like going over there to try and get this cat down, and it just spreads its wings and flies away. And I was like, holy shit, it's a fucking owl. Yeah, like Mothman. Mothman was up there. Yeah. Stories now changed. That's how urban legends are made.
Yeah.
And seen.
Well, I mean, end a podcast. Um, owls are fearless. It's
Right.
it's crazy, and they just like stare at you like they're just pissed off, and they're not afraid of you, dude. Um, you know how I used to walk home from us hanging out from school. Didn't matter what time of day. I'd walk through the creek and go home. I think about that now, terrified. I'm like, what the hell was I thinking? But there was one time I was walking home, and this owl, and I swear every time I remember it, it gets bigger because that's just how my memory works. But this owl that was like this big, uh, he was at the top of a tree just staring at me. And I'm like walking, and he's just following me like that. And I'm like, ooh, I don't like that. Um, yeah.
So he didn't do anything.
The owl? No, he just stared at me, and that's worse, you know? That's just somehow worse.
Just like we
'Cause
don't
he
like
was thinking something, you
like
know?
we don't like your kind of people around here.
It's a person. It's a person who's thinking something. That's what they are.
Really, man in a tree.
Yeah, that's basically what it was.
Right.
Speaking of urban legends, there was this between me and the neighborhood kids. There was an urban legend that there was a man in a creek who wielded a bow and arrow. The bow and arrow man. That's what his name was. That one. Did you hear about that guy, the bow and arrow man?
Hey, you told me about him.
Okay, I probably did. Um, yeah,
He had a bow and arrow.
he had a bow and arrow.
Basically, Hawkeye in the creek.
Yeah, just one of those kind of questionable uh, Native American spirit things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I'm very, very fascinated with urban legends and cryptids and stuff. And I think where we grew up, there's a lot of interesting history there.
Well, yeah. Well, it's like I feel like a lot of that. I'm re-listening to American Gods, and so obviously the urban legend thing and like the whole gods thing is really, really, really interesting, and it's at the front of my mind right now. But like, do you remember that picture I sent you of like cryptids in their like isolated areas? Let me look. Crypt
Oh, yeah, that sounds familiar.
America.
Yeah, we were squatching it. We were squatching it out in the chat.
Right.
Yeah.
And there we go. So, I mean, this map could literally be a map of our podcast if we wanted to.
Oh, hell yeah. The official Spook podcast.
Calling it Squatch.
Wait, that was like the map of America and just showing like where each creepy critter lives.
Right.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
Yeah, I like this.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Kipsy.
Yeah, and some of them I don't even like know. Like I've never heard of.
Big bird. That's a pterodactyl. That's just a pterodactyl.
Also, a Sesame Street character.
Wait. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. I don't know most of those. Oh, it just got blurry. Maybe that's my internet. I'm doing the whole hotspot thing right now.
There's different variants of like Bigfoot, like the Honey Island swamp monster.
There's
and then
probably something to that, right?
Like the skunk ape. There's got to be something like for specifically Bigfoot. Bigfoot is the one that like always fascinates me the most because it's like all of these isolated people and peoples around the globe. Have, yeah, similar like interactions with this giant ass ape thing.
Yeah.
And you're just like, dude, like how much of this is actually bleeding into the real world? Is this like a shared experience that we brought? Oh shit, you're frozen. Oh cool. Shared experience. A shared experience that our ancestors had that we just brought along to like the United States or to like wherever we went around the world, and we just had like, because there was periods of time where we were with like Homo sapiens and Neanderthals were together. Is this one of those things where like this myth is bred from the realm of possibility. Like we were there at the same time and we just killed it off.
Well, that's the thing is that's entirely plausible. The only thing that's implausible is like we would have found it by now.
Oh, but
We would have had one on display somewhere. There'd be a whole uprising of them. But it is interesting that we're all around the globe. There's different versions of Sasquatch. It's kind of the dragon, the newer dragon, because around the world there's different interpretations of the dragon. Um, Maybe Sasquatch is a ghost.
right.
Maybe he's a ghost. There's this interesting, but it's total bullshit. It's really interesting though. There's this really goofy YouTube channel called Gaia, and they're kind of hippies. Excuse me, I'm burping a lot. But they have like this universal theory of the paranormal, and that is that all of these weird, unprovable paranormal phenomenon are somehow linked. And I don't remember how. I just really thought of that, and that's kind of where I'm going to end it because I don't I don't know what the theory is.
Well, and like the weird thing is you looking at this map, a lot of these, like, I mean, the chupacabra, come on. It's
Yeah.
just a coyote, hairless coyote. It's a coyote with mange, let's be real. But
It's
like
yeah.
you look at this stuff and you're like, okay, most of this could have been like a dinosaur and they found the bones and they were like, oh, like that shit lives there.
Every single one of those sea creatures is the fucking Sinclair logo. That's how I know there's some fucking
Yeah.
dinosaur shit happening.
Yeah.
Again, though, you think that we would have maybe it's some like association thing, like someone saw a picture of a what do you call plesiosaurs? I don't know. And we see sea creatures and we've suddenly just associated this. So every time we see something in the water, we're like imagining the whole body. We see a
Yeah.
log floating there, we're like, that's a dinosaur in there.
Well, yeah. And then there's like stuff like the Mothman, which is totally a fucking big ass owl. And then there's like the freaking goat man or whatever it is, the demon thing down in Texas.
Yeah. Oh, that the little goblin critter just over your right shoulder. Um,
The Puckawiggle.
I'm pretty sure it looks just like the freaky alien goblins that attack this family's house. It is the most fucking hillbilly fucking cryptid story I've ever heard in my life. There was a UFO, and there's always some fucking UFO or light in the sky that precedes some encounter with one of these ghoulies. But they saw like a UFO land in their front yard or backyard, and then suddenly those like freaky little goblin things with big ears started attacking their house. So they come out with their shotgun and they start blasting them. And then the government comes over and collects their bodies, and they said that they were just extraterrestrial, and they covered it up and stuff. And then people looking at that story are like, bro, those were owls. You just shot a bunch of owls. Those are not aliens. So owls can make up, I think, a lot of these critters. There's actually one cool picture though that I want to find.
So I'm looking up a Bigfoot story I want to bring up. I was reading this thing in Lapham's Quarterly. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so here's one thing. No, shit. No, I lost it. It's not the real thing.
Oh. I sent a picture of a photo of a skunk ape shot in Florida, and um, it's legitimately like a fucking gorilla.
What?
It's probably like one of those like stuffed gorillas, but there are different pictures of it with different expressions on its face. And I'm pretty sure it's just a fucking big ass orangutan or gorilla, but it's so creepy.
Yo, that's just like a emo orangutan.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Apparently, it was all over the news at one point. Like, this was shot in Florida. And it looks, I mean, Florida looks like it's a tropical area, so it could be a jungle. Um, but like, I'm like, if that is in Florida, there is a gorilla on the loose. There's an orangutan on the loose or something. Um, but still, it creeped me out. That is a creepy picture.
No, this guy's video is like 19 minutes long. And how the fuck do I move this? Oh, I just grabbed it. Is it full screen on your shit?
Yeah.
So this guy going with your picture is he's surrounded by skinwalkers in the haunted cave, and obviously this is like I was doing research for this, and like I was just like searching for cryptids, and this guy's called Cryptid Hunter. So if you want to look him up, here he is.
We'll leave a link in the description.
Link it.
Two people who will watch this.
The family members that watch this.
Mom, there's a link in the description.
Does Sandy actually watch this?
Sorry for swearing. No.
Sandy does not watch this.
No. She is not aware that I am doing anything ever. She thinks I'm still going to school.
She actually thinks you're in 6th grade still. So.
Bro, it's legitimately funny how my family has no idea what I do.
Right.
So further away out.
My family sometimes still thinks that I'm super like conservative.
It's hard to see right now because it's so dark, but in this whole area, it's where people report seeing what they describe like coyotes. That was Joey sneezing. People have described seeing coyotes running around at 2 feet. And a lot of the times when the skinwalker, if it is a skinwalker, they will look at us from the top of the mountains. It's hard to see with my light, but from the top of the mountains, and there's a lot of legends here where they can easily hide. There are stones. They're as big as a person. You can easily hide behind one of those and peek out.
I'll just, this is my commentary on.
Yeah, you were frozen for a second.
Oh, shit. You were frozen like. How laggy is it on your end with the video?
It wasn't too bad.
Okay, cool.
We are hearing like random noises and sounds all around us. It's our friends over there. They're coming down. It's been moving for a while now.
I skipped ahead because this is a very long ass video.
Yeah.
If you're still here with me, push that glow stick as much as you can. Move it.
Move it.
What?
Can't really tell when I turn the light up, but it's still moving.
Yeah, we can. It's a glow stick, guy.
That's the only thing we can see. It's a dark cave. What are you talking about?
All right, so the glow stick is moving on its own. I didn't push it, and everybody else is way at the bottom. Okay, so I'm gonna keep going. We're gonna walk up there because up there is where I keep hearing like footsteps up there. Our glow stick stopped moving, so I don't know. Is it moving again? Look how strong this thing's moving, guys. Look.
So not to debunk anything, but caves have differing pressures in them because it's cold air and then there's warm air at the mouth of the cave. So there's like a pressure difference there.
There's like wind, right?
Yeah, there's wind that goes through caves.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's probably why that stick's moving, because you hung it by a string.
Also, if you hang something up, it's a pendulum. It shows that the Earth is rotating, so it'll start moving no matter what.
Yeah. Not to debunk anything, they could exist, but
this ain't it.
a good science project on pendulums.
Yeah, exactly. This won't hold up in like a laboratory.
That thing is all the way down there. It is moving on its own. Look at that.
Yeah, it's wind.
Until I see some shit being lifted up on its own, I'm gonna be like.
I mean, I would have to, I've seen some creepy shit, and to be honest, I kind of believe in ghosts. I mean,
yeah,
I've seen some shit, but like, until like a demon is in front of me, like legitimately, like taunting me with like a fiery horn or something, and he had to have popped out of the ground. It's not like I walk around a corner and I see a fucking demon. I have to see this shit crawl out of the earth.
Yeah.
Like literally taunt me with a fiery horny penis. Like whatever. Just like I have to see that to believe it. 100%.
That's how I am. And okay, so when it comes to ghosts, I'm pretty agnostic about it. I'm just like, sure, I don't know. It's not the weirdest thing I've ever heard, weirdly enough. Like, do I think that the Jersey Devil is real? No, it's probably a fucking bat and an owl fucking, I don't know. It's something like explainable like that.
Owl bat hybrid.
Something escaped from a lab and it was a mistake. That would be a much better story. But yeah, when it comes to, I mean, my whole thing on ghosts, and that was pretty much what inspired my weird ass screenplay I sent you. Just very agnostic about ghosts. I think it's just as likely that they're dead people as it is that they're still alive, and just in some other point in time. Like it's such an abstract thing, just invisible people, you know?
Yeah. Or it could just be electrical impulses or pulses that are remnants of people like imprinting itself on our reality. Who the fuck knows?
It's called the stone tape theory, and that there's something to that electromagnetic thing. The stone tape theory. It's about how the world around us basically records information because of electromagnetism and energy. If you were to scream angrily at a rock, that rock is gonna fucking be haunted now. I don't know.
So there are, and I don't want to misquote any archaeological studies, but I do keep up on some archaeological stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like there have been, because when Native Americans made pottery, they would be making it and they would be talking. And so there are, just like a vinyl disc will imprint the sound waves into the disc as it's being pressed and cut into. That happens with some of the pottery. So there is some of the Native American pottery that they have imprinted people's voices and all that shit.
So the record thing I was aware of, not to bring up my screenplay again, but the scene with the record player. It was a metaphor for that whole idea. And there was dialogue about it, but I cut it.
Spooky bastard.
I'm a spooky bastard.
Oh my God.
A lot of idea of imprinting and copying and just anyway. I'll shut up about it now.
For another episode.
For another episode, dude. For real though, I can't. We gotta like write a fucking screenplay. That just sounds like such like. It reminded me of, I guess, a little bit of a digression, real quick. In 8th grade, when we were in summer school,
Right.
it was me, you, then Dan and Jordan. And the whole class was writing our chapters in a book, and everyone was being so serious and like, oh, they fell in love, and then they met this person, and they're friends forever. And it gets to like fucking Dan and Jordan's chapter, and then Buck, Wuck, Chuck, Duck. And then it gets to ours, and it's just not any better. It's just, and we're just fucking in tears. Like, I just thought about that shit. I'm like, that would be so fucking fun to do, to actually write a screenplay in 2 hours of just following all the rules.
Like storyboard, everything.
Yeah. At least an outline. Maybe a storyboard will take fucking forever. Not like we're filming the thing. But for real though, like an outline, a treatment, whatever.
Dude, honestly, we get the screenplay done, and we should just get a bunch of other people on this Zoom call, and then we just have a read of it, and then everyone's a character.
Oh, that would be great. That would actually
be a progressive thing.
That's amazing. That could be the podcast after that.
Yeah, it's just like it progressively gets bigger, and then like we do the first read, and then once this COVID shit's over, we actually produce it.
That's amazing, because that's what so many celebrities are doing right now. They're doing fucking read-throughs of scripts just to entertain people because they can't film movies right now.
Right.
But that's amazing. I fucking love that idea.
Dude, write that shit down.
Oh yeah. I'm adding it to my notes.
So,
by the way, my notes keep popping up every single time we do like a screen share on our podcast. So I keep having to find unique ways to cover it up. I have weird ass notes, just like movie ideas that are out of context. They make me look insane. Like I have to cover this shit up.
Right. Dude, I think let's do some more of the reacts on some of these cryptid hunter, not just cryptid hunter, but I'll shoot you the link for this one so we can link it.
Oh, okay.
How the fuck do I do that? Where's the chat? More chat.
Oh.
Yeah. Do you know of any like I mean, there's obviously the BuzzFeed Unsolved ones, but like, I mean.
When it comes to cryptid videos I've seen, it's pretty needle in the haystack kind of stuff. I don't know if my dogs took a shit out there. I'm smelling some poop, man.
Do you need to go to the bathroom?
Dude, I fucking because I like I said, I had a few beers last night. I haven't drank in probably like a year, since like my honeymoon is the last time. And we were just celebrating last night. And I got beer shits this morning.
Oh no.
The rankest farts and just nasty. Oh my God. So it might be the toilet, like fucking regurgitating what I threw in there a few hours ago. I should close the bathroom door. It might be that, honestly. Dude, this is great. We can have a bunch of characters in our script and just have our friends fucking read it. That'd be amazing.
Dude, just random ass people. Like, what am I looking for?
Oh, Fallout 76. Dude, that game looked so amazing, but apparently it's garbage.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like none of us have, like, I didn't want to get it because everyone was just like, it's fucking shit.
Honestly, people were just burnt. Like, Fallout kind of was just burnt out for me because people, fan bases ruin things for me in many cases.
Especially if they're toxic, dude.
Oh, they're horrible. That's a terrible community.
Bethesda's community is kind of shit. Like, I mean, Jess plays ESO sometimes. Well, hasn't in a while.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess the ESO's community is not bad.
Is that Elder Scrolls Online?
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
Scientists have shown who the Yeti is.
There's that.
We'll edit out this Western governor's. Shut up. Oh, it's fucking bright side.
Well, scientists have finally solved the mystery of the Yeti. There was once a man who was hiking in the Himalayas, where he was suddenly snatched up by a white hairy monster that left only a large footprint behind. Not a bad campfire story, right? We've all heard of the Yeti, but only a few people in the world claim to have seen one. What is this human-like monster? Is it dangerous to us? And for that matter, does it even exist at all? Well,
No.
Brightside has summed up results from the latest research on the nature of the Yeti. Are you ready for the truth to be unveiled right before your eyes?
Yeah.
Of course you are.
You good? You still
For
burping?
thousands of years, people have been searching for the Yeti, for any proof of its existence, and for the origins of this creature.
Okay, fuck off.
Hair, bone, skin, and fecal samples. Yeti poop? Taken from the Tibetan Plateau, were studied using cutting-edge scientific technologies. And why this very region? Surrounded by the harsh climate of
Okay, fuck this. I know Brightside is not a very reputable source. I want to see sources.
Oh, really? I've heard of Brightside.
Yeah. And correct me.
Look at that comment. I've seen one. My younger sister.
Who's watching this at 2020? At 2020. At 2020.
I'm a potato. Who's watching this at 2020? Me. Only me, I guess. I'm always late. Where's the punchline in that? Me, hear me, me too.
You say Tibet, but show Nepal. You say Bhutan, but you show Nepal. Somebody's from Nepal or one of these other countries.
Yeah, there's that misinformation call out there.
You show Kathmandu, but say Nepal. But anyway, Brightside's not a very reputable source. Apparently, it's like a bunch of Russians that get scripts and have really good English speakers read them.
Really?
Script. Yeah, it's like a content farm.
Oh, so many of those.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I saw in my YouTube video search. But like, okay, let's rank our top 10 fucking favorite cryptids.
Okay.
So you go first.
Okay.
What's one for you, my dude?
I would say my favorite. My favorite would be the what is it called? That creepy fucking big-headed motherfucker. That's very vague. It's supposedly an alien with like this big old goofy ass like head. The
Pyramid head?
what is it?
Pyramid head?
Pyramid. You know, Silent Hill.
Silent Hills, I mean, 50 years from now, that might actually be.
Oops.
I mean, I don't even know what to Google because big-headed fucking shit doesn't
I found
matter.
it. Flatwoods Monster.
Show me a picture of that spook.
Okay, I'm set. Here it comes in T-5, 4,
Or you could just share your screen.
I already went through this whole thing. Two. Next time. One.
Download.
This one probably creeped me out. It's one of those cryptids that's just like it had I think like a dozen eyewitnesses and they all told similar stories that were pretty close. Like most of them were kids and there were a few adults and they all
What
described
is that?
a very similar thing. That's not an actual picture. That's an artist rendering. It's supposed to be.
It looks a little bit like a labia.
It's a metaphor.
A metaphor. Everything's a metaphor.
Yeah. Here, I'll screen share this. There's and I guess it's in Fallout 76 as well.
What?
They have a bunch of cryptids in that one. So I guess I will, first of all, cover up my notes with the screen. So I don't have to worry about that in post. Do this. Am I shared? Cool. So there's this motherfucker. So I typed in alien forest monster to look for this one. There's this guy. So this is what it supposedly looked like. It was like a weird robot alien leaf.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, and I guess it's on.
Judging by its appearance, it looks like a leaf.
It might have been a tree, for being honest. You know what?
Some kids got spooked by a tree and they made this up.
Well, that's another thing. Is like it goes back to that fucking owl thing. Is they're like it's probably an owl. It's probably just an owl in a tree. And I'm like that's true, and it could be just like some mass hysteria. I don't know. What the hell is this? Okay. Well, we're diving into Fallout shit. Fallout's ruined cryptids all of a sudden. Like, I can't escape it. Yeah, big ass motherfucker.
Kind of looks like a light bulb too, though.
Yeah.
A little bit like an old timey light bulb.
I like the whole Lovecraftian mythos. Now we're deep diving into that weird shit. I don't know what this is, but I like it. I don't know what this is, but it's my new favorite cryptid.
I think it's a Star Wars character.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, it is. Wikipedia. It's an unidentified Revwian. Anyway, we're deep diving into some. We always do that, though, don't we?
We go into some deep shit. I mean, I think for like spooky shit, my number one would probably be skinwalkers.
Yeah.
Because they are the concept of a skinwalker is absolutely fucking horrifying to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like the stories that I would hear, like as a kid, you know, like on the way out in the res and you see a man walking next to your car and you're like, I'm going 80 miles an hour on the res or whatever. And he's walking and then you look out again and it's a wolf running and you're like, oh, fuck.
I didn't hear that one.
Huh?
That's creepy.
Dude, it's super, super fucking creepy. And then you're like, yo, like, or like that part of the res, I heard this story a while back, where like out towards like Tuba City and stuff in Arizona, there's a part of the res where you have to turn your radio on because you need the static noise or you need noise in the car because I guess there's like whispering people that if you hear their voices, you will die. Like you are going to die. Like the whole concept of angry spirits getting at you, which is why, like, you know, I am terrified of ghosts, never really want to meet one. It is not my favorite thing.
Right.
Spooky ghosties, stay away from me.
Basically ghouls.
Right, ghouls, no.
Don't care for them.
Right.
So the first time I heard about skinwalkers, they were incorrectly described to me. let's see, I was hanging out with Matt, Taylor, and it was like, I don't know, I think it was Taylor's older sisters and a few other kids. They were trying to scare us little kids, talking about skinwalkers. And what they described is that it's like, they describe basically zombies that like steal your skin and they have skin hanging off them. They're like, and they run after you like this. And I'm just like, that's pretty like gross. But but that's not scary. That's weird and gross.
Just kinda weird.
Yeah.
The weird flex, guys.
And so like I felt kind of dumb because I brought that up later and people were like, that's not what a skinwalker is. A skinwalker is it's this guy right here. And this guy. Basically
Animorphs.
Yeah, exactly. This guy. I mean that's definitely creepier than walking fleshy man. And there seems to be some confusion about like the difference between a skinwalker and a Wendigo. Wendigos are kind of interesting too.
What is a Wendigo?
That might be my favorite cryptid, a Wendigo. Basically, so skinwalkers and Wendigos are both Native American spirit creatures. A Wendigo is it's like a giant ghost, a giant spirit guy who you basically turn into if you are a cannibal. If you eat someone, I might be like a little bit wrong here, a very tall ghost who infects people who are cannibals. And there's like this deer iconography pertaining to, look at this creepy motherfucker. So what happens when you eat people? You turn into a big old beast. Look at that guy.
I don't like it.
See, and the description of this creature is very vague. It's never described like with antlers, but I love all this creativity. I love people's interpretations of this creature. Look at
It just looks like
I don't even know what that
my
is.
uncle. He's just happy. He's just a happy dude. That's a Warcraft character.
I don't know what. Wendigo. This guy, prolapsed colon.
Oh, that's the shit from Until Dawn.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
so it's very interesting stuff.
I keep thinking that your screen is my screen, and I'm trying to scroll down too, and I'm stupid.
Yeah. Anyway, we get the idea of that.
So I'm on the cryptid Reddit, which is a great mine for this stuff. I just sent you a good meme.
The Bigfoot.
Yep.
What is that? Loveland Frogman. I'm still looking at this background of yours. Loveland Frogman. I think I've heard of that. Come on, open up. Why do Bigfoot hunters try to lure him with a mating call? Do they have a game? Oh. Do they have a game plan for if a squatch comes barreling toward them out of the woods full tilt with a raging boner? That's a good point.
Nobody's thought of that.
Quick update on unfrequentedworld.com. This video brought to you by me. Hey, I'm going to sponsor my own video.
Shut up. Okay.
I do the same thing. I just try to click on that ad.
I mean, he's doing a good job at following this one fox.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just want to know your Bigfoot story. I want some live.
Today, and I recharge all the batteries and we reset them. I'm gonna hide them a little better this time. I'm gonna put them
Shut up.
on this tree.
Oh, episode 95 of my Bigfoot story. That's his channel name. I'm stupid. I was expecting him to have a story.
Oh,
But anyway,
devil monkeys. So a lot of these monsters are like weird looking apes. See,
are we just afraid of apes as a
okay, so there's this whole thing about aliens. They so when aliens were first described in like books and shit back in like the 1800s is when alien shit kind of became popular, weirdly enough. And they were squids. They were always like squids and bugs and just really gross, weird things. And like Lovecraft took over that and took it a few steps further. Racist bastard. Uh, horrible man.
not a good dude?
Oh, bad guy. But boy,
Which there's a lot of Lovecraftian shit in Game of Thrones, so
yeah, I mean, he was also kind of a shit writer, but he came up with some pretty cool stuff.
Cthulhu is pretty cool.
Cthulhu's pretty cool. The idea of like cosmic horror is like one of my favorite genres. By the way, you gotta watch Annihilation if you haven't already. I think it's one of my favorite recent horror films. Anyway, what was I
You're
saying?
bugging now. I can't hear you.
Oh, really? Can you hear me? No? Hello?
Now I can.
Oh, we good?
Yes? Yeah.
Okay. What the fuck was I saying? My brain bugged out. Oh, yeah. And then H.G. Wells, he wrote War of the Worlds, Martians attack Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And those aliens were like fucking squids, right? But in the book, he described these humanoid aliens. They look kind of like humans. But these squid creatures treated them like cattle, like humans have cows. And it was more of just like this metaphor that we are so primitive to these squid alien things. But there was like an artist's interpretation of these humanoids, and they resembled the Greys. The most popular image of an alien now, the Greys. And so that scared the shit out of people. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, this message popped up. So like throughout the 20th century, especially in like the 1950s, where alien abduction stories took off, more UFOs were seen, which by the way, that's interesting that fucking World War II and post-World War II, flying saucers were seen everywhere. And that's kind of evolved into like cigar-shaped ships, triangles, and now we just see fucking beams of light. What I'm saying is humanity is advancing and we're seeing technology that's like beyond. Because like, remember how the triangle shit, it turned out to be stealth flyers?
Yeah.
10 years before we even found out that shit was real.
Right.
We have actual videos of Nazis testing out flying saucers and shit and fucking blimps and shit. Like, anyway, that's a digression.
Yeah.
But
so I mean, like, I guess, are you saying like?
I went on a huge tangent there, but what I'm saying is humans are scared of things that they recognize. If there's a human, and we talked about the uncanny valley before with the AI episode, where we look at something that is human, but it's off. It's like, it doesn't look right. It's supposed to be human. That's why we're scared of zombies. That's why we're scared of gray aliens. And I think that's why we're scared of Sasquatch and all those creepy monkeys.
Yeah, it's like
Lizard.
when I sent you that song last night. Did you actually listen to the AI version of All Star?
Oh, I didn't. Sorry. I said I'm not clicking that. I didn't. Sorry, I meant to.
It gets to a point where it's like it's unsettling because you recognize things and you recognize styles of music, and you're like, and then it just feels like a demon crawls into your ears. So it's like, I get it. It's like the whole unsettling feeling of something that's familiar but off. It's just like when your parents are pissed off and you walk in the house and they try to make it seem like they're fine and they weren't just fighting.
Right. Yeah. That's, yeah. So I'm gonna play it real quick. I'm gonna play the song just because I want to hear it. I really want to hear it.
I mean, it's not copyright, so it's AI generated. So.
Oh, that's a good point. Also, it's transformative.
All you need to launch a cult skate brand.
It's commentary.
As long as you have a logo that looks good on lips. Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the shopping in the cheating. Taxi, I told you, save me way, ignore it, she goes away like you wanted to stay with you from it. Way like you wanted to. I said, anywhere, you gotta see right you wrong. I said, anywhere, you see, so tell me, it's yours. I'm sad, I'm kidding, I'm stopping, and
What? That got like.
I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. She was looking kind of young, in the star, in the shape of a the years start coming and they don't stop coming. Back to the rules and I hit the big time. So shit up against the round. I'm not a Yoda kid, I'm just as wide. Shit to the page.
It's so unsettling, dude. It's weird.
Got the wise. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on. Hey now, show on.
So, oh well. The top comment on that was like, turn on the captions, and that makes it so much better. Yeah, you're lost. Oh wow, that was wow.
It's some next level shit right there.
Very unsettling and hilarious. A robot mind created that abomination. And I think that's the only thing an AI can create is some kind of horrifying, uncanny shit.
If that's all we have to worry about with AI, we're fine. It's just really bad renditions of All-Star. So if you go to like the web page that they reference, like Jukebox, OpenAI.com,
Yeah.
Jukebox, there's a bunch of songs like country in the style of Alan Jackson, and it's like it generated its own shit.
Ugh.
And it is not good.
It's
It's
hilarious though.
and it gives you the lyrics.
All you know is gonna be alright. Let the dogs in the straight away.
And it's unsettling.
And you gotta feel the same. Let the fire burn. Just as long as I'm there, I'll be ready for your life.
It's like not any rhyme or reason.
It's right.
I hate country. I hate country generated by a computer more.
Yeah.
Yeah, so go to that and listen to some of the very classic pop in the style of Frank Sinatra. I didn't know to think Sinatra was pop, but some of those songs, heavy metal in the style of Rage. But along with computers, there's like, geez, I've laughed so hard. It was so hard laughing. This was making up for all the burps that you did.
Yeah.
So I guess like the biggest thing to take away from like cryptids for me is like, obviously they're fucking fake. Well, not obviously, they could be real, but like, so could a lot of things.
Yeah.
I just like, I want to get my hands on a squatch, you know. If I got my hands on a squatch and dissected the squatch, I would be a little bit more inclined to say, okay, you know what, Champ, the Lake Champlain monster might be there. He might be there.
Yeah.
Indigo might be real. Skinwalkers scare the shit out of me. Please stay away. Don't be real.
Yeah, and again, looking at all these fucking cryptids, they're all just like, yeah, those are just like, they could just be deformed fucking animals and like dinosaurs we thought were extinct. And then there's the Jersey Devil. What the hell is that thing? That is an abomination. So a horse, a bat, a goat, a lizard. I'm like, okay, you made that one up. I know you made that one up, guys. I found this website, and it's well, it's
But
thrilled.
sure.
It's I'm gonna screen share. That's what I'm gonna do. And it is it's basically every single state and their most famous urban legend. We don't have to go through all fucking 50 of them. So let's just focus on the 4.
The Intermountain West. Let's focus on that. Like 50 states is fucking hard.
Yeah, let's focus on our home area.
Our ballpark.
In alphabetical order, starting with California, the Turnbull Canyon, between Whittier.
Hutunga?
Hutunga. I'm not even gonna try.
KNPA?
Between Whittier and City of Industry, I've been. Didn't you stay in Whittier when you went to Disneyland?
Yeah.
Yeah. City of Industry, it's not too far from there, so it's LA, it's one big fucking cancerous conglomerate. But apparently there's a 49,000 area.
Are you frozen? Oh.
No,
you're
sorry.
you just reading. I was like, he just dropped off.
Sometimes I just freeze on my own. So yeah, it looks like a lot of. I'm reading this right now for the first time. I didn't do my homework before.
Hey man, it's okay. That happens a lot.
Yeah, with me, I just don't do my homework ever. Excuse me. So
well, this shit is like, it's saying, okay, I'm gonna read this so people don't have to.
Okay.
Why California, the many horrors of Turnbull Canyon. Why the shit is creepy. Located near LA between Whittier and the City of Industry, Turnbull is a 49,000 acre smorgasbord of nightmare fuel. Set amid the scenic hills, you want your scares rooted in American history. The natives call it Hutakunda, or the place of the devil, where the ghosts of those slain for not converting to Christianity dwell alongside witches and Satanists. Ooh, that's a spicy place. Who reportedly used the place to sacrifice children. Jesus Christ. It got worse. Whose spirits now walk the canyon and dude, we should go out there. We should camp out that shit.
Yeah.
Who now walk the canyon and dangle from trees. They're joined by the ghosts of 21 kids who perished in a plane crash back in '52, allegedly. As there's no existing record of it, there's the remains of an old insane asylum that came back to life to kill teens in the 60s by a long dormant electrical wire. There are cults, alien encounters, gravity hills, it goes on and on. Basically, if it's something that gets under your skin, there's a story about it happening in the seemingly cursed canyon. Where it came from, the place's evil vibes date back centuries, though it wasn't until the site was established as a fur trapping site in 1845 that things started getting really intense, with the word of the site's terrors traveling as far and wide, making it a place visited as much for its beauty as its morbid curiosity. I honestly want, dude, you need to send me the link for this. Like, Jess and I need to go on some trips.
Will do. Jesus, I did laugh part of the way through this because it was just like witches and Satanists and dead kids who died in a plane crash and an insane asylum, and
Scooby-Dooby
to kill a teen in the 60s via a long dormant electrical wire. Cults, aliens. I'm like, slow down. That is,
dude. It's just like hitting you. It's just like,
and it gets weirder. Like, it just got more and more weird. And when you're reading that, it reminded me of it'll probably be in Utah when we scroll down, but Skinwalker Ranch. You heard of that place?
I've heard it mentioned, but I don't know what it's for.
Speaking of Joe Rogan, we're talking about him in the last podcast. He went out there and did like some ghost hunting shit. It's supposed to be like the most paranormal place in America. Because anything paranormal you can think of, it happens almost daily, supposedly, at Skinwalker Ranch. They're talking about fucking aliens, ghosts, obviously skinwalkers.
Aliens, fucking ghosts, and skinwalkers.
Yeah, it's probably aliens just fucking...
It's just an orgy of aliens, really.
So it's that universal theory of the paranormal. All the monsters, just... That's their popular camp out site.
I saw, in my preparation for this, I saw a good ad for some underwear. I'll look it up.
Okay.
Go ahead, proceed.
Oh, that was pretty much it. Like,
oh shit.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah. It's just fucking everything. Just, but yeah, that's what this Turnbull Canyon reminded me of. It's just like everything all at once. Just like everything creepy, freaky, stupid you can think of.
See this shit?
Oops.
Do you see this shit? This underwear?
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
The monsters. We're gonna have to blur this one out, but
no.
This is our thumbnail, right?
Yeah. I'm not gonna draw another picture. I'm just gonna use this Frankenstein fucking a witch.
Oh man. But like, I mean, if I had to go anywhere. I want to go to that fucking like crazy ass place in California.
Oh yeah, that sounds
So
exciting. Like, I'm sorry, it's still so funny to me. Remains of an old insane asylum. Like, that is just every fucking cliche creepy thing you can
right.
think of. It's like it all just happened here. Fucking,
You couldn't choose another place instead of the creepy ass canyon.
it just sounds like a little kid telling a story, and you're like, uh-huh,
Yeah, kid.
sure. Okay, now moving on down. Ooh, here's Idaho.
Let's go to Idaho. Let's check that shit.
The Phantom Jogger of Canyon Hill. Why it's creepy? There are rumors of many hauntings in Caldwell, Idaho's centuries-old Canyon Hill Cemetery, but the one that gets the most attention is the Midnight Jogger. As with many of the best urban legends, you have to do your part to get her attention. In this case, it involves parking between certain trees in the cemetery at night. Do it right, and the legless apparition will knock on your window to let you know she's there, then continue on her route. It's creepy as hell, though. Oh, it's creepy as hell, though now it's only the second worst image conjured when you think of sinister joggers. It's creepy as hell, though. Yeah, I gathered that.
Holy!
Where it came from. The origins are unknown, though considering there's another conspiratorial legend that the entire state of Idaho doesn't actually exist. Perhaps the jogger is just a creation of a deranged and deceptive government.
I mean, having lived in Idaho, it fucking exists. And I wish it didn't. Idaho, you can go fuck yourself.
So this is just one of those fucking shitty ass websites. It looks like it came out in like the year 2000. I don't know. I'll send you that link too if you want to read that.
Yeah, let's do that.
It's too long to do it right now. There's just a plethora of weird ass conspiracy theories there that we will unravel at a later time, maybe.
I think cryptids are a good place to be. I mean, we should have obviously done more homework on this. I mean, I was like, I know enough about cryptids, and then I'm like, we start talking about it, and I'm like, fuck, I don't know anything about cryptids.
Dude, that's exactly where I was coming from. I'm just like, oh man, I have like fucking 20 years of research on this shit. I'm an expert on cryptids. And
It's like you have a PhD in bullshit, dude.
You ask me like what my favorite cryptid is, and I'm just like,
This guy, this fucking like labia-looking motherfucker.
I didn't even know the name of it, and I'm like, it's not. Is it a cryptid? It's a robot. I don't know what this is.
Like we were making up our own goddamn cryptids.
You know, what if I'm just like Slender Man? What if I said Slender Man? That would
Dude, like honestly, again, reading American Gods and like it bringing it into like I kind of go back and forth on what the issue is in American Gods. Well, not the issue. I'm like the gods don't exist. They're not like really gods. Like not to spoil shit, but like
yeah, I know it's
yeah. So it's like how like I think about how they come into existence and how these things that we dream up influence our actual lives. Like the fact that people like squatchers are out there like with their entire life believing in that thing and they're begging it like more than a man that wants coitus, begging it so bad to come and be with them. Please just be with me, Squatch. Be with me. And like people that want to see the Lake Champlain monster or Nessie or like any of these cryptids that people want to see, they just believe in it so hard. And if that was enough, we would have so much weird shit in this world.
mm-hmm.
But the fact that those made up things, these things that people think up in their heads, have so much influence on our daily lives, the fact that we're even having a podcast on this right now kind of lends credence to the idea that, you know what, they have power. these creatures that people think up have power. We're talking about it. That in of itself is taking up your brain energy. Like, there's power in that shit. Like,
Mythology.
It's spooky shit.
Yeah.
Like, I guess in a way, we're all possessed by the ideas of cryptids.
Yeah. Nice. Poignant statement. Yeah.
Seriously, though, we might actually have to revisit this one in another episode. Like, maybe we should just take this list, like the list that you got, or like this picture for my background, and we just break it down and just go like, take it one at a time. I don't fucking know.
Should this be part 1?
Yeah, this should be a part 1. I think this is a good part 1.
Part 1. Okay, I like that.
Yeah, because we're just getting into October. It's just spooky shit.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, we have a whole month of spookies.
Oh, hell yeah.
We should also go over the origin of the spooky, scary skeleton song. Like, just go down and do this, the fucking origin story of that.
I'm down.
It's great. Put it in the notes. But I think we're good. I think we're at the zenith of this episode.
Yeah, I mean, we're at an hour and a half. That last one to edit because it was more than 2 hours. I barely got it down to 140.
Damn.
Yeah.
Was it a lot of our ADHD moments?
So the first half of it is super fucking funny. The second half is so goddamn dark. I forgot about the shit we talked about. It's fucking dark. Yeah. I just remember the funny shit, and I'm like, suddenly we're talking about like the
station and shit.
Yeah, well, the alien abductees being fucking raped as kids, and fucking.
Oh God. I think there was more than one time that I was like, "Ah, shit, that's dark," and then you were like, "Ah, shit, that's dark."
There were 3 times where you said that got dark. I think one of them was so dark I cut it out, so you say it twice.
Oh man, that's not what we're aiming for.
No. Well, and then we talked about like we got to ease people into this because we just go from like really fucking funny to just no.
It's true.
No cool down time. It's just
we have no pacing. Our pacing is shit.
We're just like joking about fucking shit. Like, oh, that reminds me. Did you know that alien abductees were raped as kids?
And you're like,
no transition. It's like, we gotta work on that.
Well, I think this one was paced a little bit better. I think definitely we were on a good mood. It's just the 2 different nights thing wasn't working out for us.
It shows. It was 2 different times, and it shows. Not just in our clothing, but the editing on that is just funny, I think.
Because it went from really shitty quality to actually kind of good quality.
Yeah, it cuts mid-sentence to us just like watching the video.
Oh, I fucking love it.
Just transitions perfectly into that, like super meta, like exactly the effect I wanted. Just like it's a podcast, and it just subverts it. We're just like watching our own podcast. I don't know.
People don't even realize that we're watching our own shit.
Let's improve this. How can we make this better? And it's a shit show.
Really, it's just like a spitballing session after the podcast. That's all we could sum it up as.
And so the whole theme of the episode was cults.
Right.
Total of 5 minutes talked about cults. And by the way, the main point I wanted to make was about Trumpism being a cult. We said the same thing 3 times. Like, anyway, Donald Trump, I think he's a cult leader. I think Trumpism's a cult. Anyway, I think Trump is, like, it's so ridiculous. We like gotta take some Adderall before this shit. It's a disaster.
Honestly, it's like we were just trained to say one thing, and Trump is bad. Bad Trump man.
And we did great on... Oh, we did joke about Trump in this one. We did do that. That's hard not to.
It was one joke, and honestly, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. Unmasking him to reveal that he's Dracula or Eric.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Fucking Eric.
It's harmless.
But yeah, man. Let's shoot for same time next week.
Yeah.
Or whenever.
Yeah. At the end of the day, squatch it out.
Squatch it out, man.
Squatch it out.